already know what time it is. Early in the morning on Saturdays, aka Super Saturdays. Hopefully your day is super. If not, just pull up, watch the content. We gonna vibe. Make sure this look good. Let's see, we got a nice playlist. Looks like we got about 20 videos. Yeah, 20 of them. Let's get to it then. Oops, I almost forgot. Let's get the video capture on. I'll be on camera over here. Welcome back, Welcome back, Rumble. It's your boy Spider Pig, aka TWP. Y'all already know what time it is. Another Super Saturday video. Shout out to Spider Pig. Y'all know to go check him out over on YouTube so y'all can get these fresh. And start this one over. Replay, full screen. And shouts out to that boy Goku. He got swag when it comes to them guns.
In Dragon Ball Daima, Episode 10, Nahar reveals Supreme Kais, including himself, were chosen by Rymus after the multiverse's creation, tied to the now extinct Glins, whose life-giving trees are dead. This expands Nahar's backstory and raises the stakes for his role. Meanwhile, Neva, the ancient Namekian who created the Demon Realm's Dragon Balls, reappears after a long absence, now serving Goma with a sinister presence. His ominous confrontation with the Dragon Team sets the stage for an unpredictable clash. Nahar's revelations intertwine with Neva's return, hinting at a larger, multiverse-spanning conflict. The looming extinction of the Glines adds urgency, forcing the Dragon Team to face both personal and cosmic threats.
Dragon Ball's Sparking Zero is out.
Yep.
And I know who's playing Sparking Zero.
Sparking Zero's lit.
Yeah. I know you put a lot of work
I
into
spent
it.
a
Talk
lot
to us
of
about
hours.
that project. Talk to us about how
We started working on it like early last year. I was in studio every week, twice a week, all year.
Wow.
Damon Mills directed all my lines. Voice of Frieza. He directed all the local LA. I think he directed the whole
nice.
game. I don't know. There were some other characters that were directed in Texas. And it was an extraordinary project. First of all, I have to thank Namco Bandai for making just a stellar game. And I want to go a little far here and say I had an emotional moment with the game because I don't really get to see much of the game when we're recording. We just have a long list of lines and descriptions of how we're supposed to say them. And I had every once in a while I have like a weird, epiphany moment about my role as Goku or about my experience doing it. And what I thought was great about the animation I saw, the video footage of Sparking Zero I saw coming out since the game's come out, and even before when it was pre-release, was I was watching a scene with me and Chris, and it was a really intense Kamehameha type situation scene or whatever. And I remember thinking, this is finally the first time I'm watching my voice in this digital animation for the game. That's how it feels when I'm working.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you want to know what it feels like to be Goku and play the character, That's the first time I've ever seen anything that made me, because in every other instance, I'm seeing pre-rendered animation and I'm matching them. And I don't think the Japanese team is animating to me. I think they're animating to the Japanese voices, and then they use computer technology to make the mouth flaps work with all the other languages.
Rather than you having to match it, they're just changing the mouth flaps.
And so that's why sometimes things don't line up, because we don't, and that's no disrespect to anybody on the team, but it's extraordinary. They have to do it in 14 different languages or more, and it's an extraordinary number of moving parts. Plus, we've done so many artistic things with the show that we feel like even Namco Bandai wasn't aware of. For example, they weren't quite aware that I changed the voice slightly for each one. So they were actually very helpful in helping us keep track of that, because Damon was telling them, no, Sean does a different voice slightly for each one. And they were very cool about just being particular about getting things right. But, everything's on a budget. Everything's on a schedule. It's a very polished game for the first release. I'm so impressed with what they've done at Namco Bandai. I, for the first time, was geeking out along with you instead of being Goku kind of separate from it all. Because when I'm doing the acting, I can't really geek out with you, because geek out energy affects my acting negatively. I can't be a fan when I'm being Goku. I just can't. And so for the first time, I remember thinking, I want all the movies to look like this. I want the movies to look like this. And this is what it feels like. And I just got goosebumps, and I was so thrilled to be a part of it. So Sparking Zero is just if you guys haven't played it, it's probably going to be the best Dragon Ball game ever released. I can't say that.
Yeah, Sean Skimmel, however you say his name. But he's actually the voice actor in all the dubs. Shouts out to the dubs. Y'all know to go check out Funimation. Yeah, I got a couple of videos with Sean. I'm trying to get something on Chris, a.k.a. the voice of Vegeta, because, the English voices are different than the Japanese or Chinese, whichever one, Mandarin, whatever they speak over there. Shout out to the good people over there.
Definitively, because I haven't played it yet, but dude, it's just been a tour de force of power.
That's awesome.
That game is amazing.
Yeah.
Start by talking about King Goma, a central figure in the plot of Dragon Ball Daima. We know that he is a demon and, like any king, he is extremely ambitious. Demons in general have a great desire for power, and it is no surprise that Goma is after the demonic third eye. This artifact seems to be much more than just something valuable or rare. It is a key that can unlock immense powers, which justifies Goma's great interest. But after all, why does he want this eye so much? Let's explore some possible reasons. The first and most obvious reason is the grotesque increase in power. The third eye could actually be an artifact that grants the user a significant increase in strength. Or, even more interestingly, it could be an object capable of unlocking forbidden abilities, those deadly and extremely powerful techniques that are beyond the reach of most warriors.
Shouts out to Goma, the new Demon King. He ain't the star of this show today.
We got a brand new merch design, the 3 pure-blooded Saiyans in their most powerful forms. Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, and Full Power Broly right now in the Geekdom 101 store. Get it in many colors and sizes, a variety of options for you to choose from. Whatever you think looks the best. And if you don't want like a regular shirt, there are tons of different design choices. You can get a mouse pad. You can even get it on a hat or a baseball cap. For a limited time only, the link will be in the description. We got some breaking news from the world of Dragon Ball Super coming right out of Jump Festa. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on over there. Later tonight, around 3 a.m. Eastern, there's going to be a Dragon Ball Daima panel, and there's rumors of there being a trailer showing scenes of the second half of the show. I do not know if that's actually what they're going to show, but if something big comes out of it, I will be doing a video here on the Geekdom 101 channel later tonight. If not, if it's not really a big deal, I'll probably cover it on Sunday's stream. Now, I want to talk to you about Dragon Ball Super's news. So, DBS Hype is reporting, thanks to Vicky0704, who's at Jump Festa right now. They have announced a brand new Dragon Ball Super one-shot story, like a one-shot manga, that's going to be coming this February from V-Jump. We only have one image right now open, or one image that's been released. This is very, very early news. news, but this is the beginning of the return of Dragon Ball Super. Now, as you can see right there, you have Goten, you have Trunks. So presumably this story will pick up after the events of the superhero manga arc. Now, if you're wondering, who is that guy in the front in the purple there? Many of you may have forgotten this. That is Clean God. Remember, Clean God is that superhero that Goten and Trunks wanted to emulate, and they wanted to go see that movie that was based on Clean God. That's him right there in the front. So this is obviously taking place after the superhero story. Now, I want to make this clear. This manga is going to be a short story in V-Jump. I don't know how many pages, but this is not the beginning of the next story arc of Super. It is the next story, but it's not going to be a long story. It's a one-shot. So this is very preliminary information that we're getting right now. This will obviously lead to more Super.
And so what that basically is going to do is set it up for when they have like Frieza return, because Trunks and Goten, hopefully, they finna get active. I don't expect too much from them, but you know, they might get some training from their daddies. Send them motherfuckers to Beerus' planet. Hell, them little dudes, they finally got aged up, so now they look like teens instead of the little kids, because you know, they had them saying kids be, they young with big ass head for like 30 years, and then they look like teenagers. But yeah, that'll be their excellent shot to get them back at appropriate levels, because hell, they should both be using Super Saiyan Blue, if nothing else. I'm just saying.
Presumably coming in March. Now, Dragon Ball Daima is supposed to be ending in early March. Late February or early March. I want to talk about this because it may be a clue of things to come. So, I was told, and I covered this on multiple streams. It actually even made like news from legitimate news sites, like outside of Dragon Ball. Because in some of the information I was talking about Daima with a few months ago, I discussed that I was told almost a year ago, this is before the passing of Toriyama, that the events of Dragon Ball Daima and the characters and the worlds that we see are going to lead to something in the future for Dragon Ball Super. Daima's not just some side story or some little, like, I mean, it's a little adventure. It's not like, you know, anywhere near as, like, super epic as like the Tournament of Power, where you've got all these, you know, universes, but it is an important part of Dragon Ball lore and Dragon Ball history. But when I was told that, I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't know what that was about, the context. At that time, you know, obviously information about Daima was very sparse, but it was basically that the events of Daima were going to tie into some super story in the future. Whether that be they go back to the demon realm or somebody comes out of it, I don't know. Now, things started to make a lot more sense last week with episode 10 of Daima. Because with episode 10 of Daima, that's when we got the reveal of Rymus and the birth of the multiverse. Now, according to what Shin said, Rymus is still alive. Rymus is out there. So they introduced Rymus in Daima, possibly for him to come into Dragon Ball Super. We know that Zeno's the current king of the multiverse. So where does Rymus fit in? Lots of unanswered questions from episode 10. And Daima may answer them, but it may also be for the future. I don't know. At this point, I'm just speculating. Now, I say all that, but let's take a look at this. This is the art piece that Toyotaro drew for 2024's Jump Festa, the event going on right now, which is actually called Jump Festa 2025 because...
Hey, that black Frieza look cold as well. Fuck it. It's just Frieza. But he's got black and purple everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the purple because, you know, he getting up on his destruction talents. I know he is. You know he done trained for Ultra Instinct and the guy of destruction powers.
It's at the end of the year.
He done did some training.
That's coming
I'm
because
gonna
they
give Frieza
announced
some
new
credit.
stuff. And look, it's Black Frieza. So is Toyotaro giving us a clue that Black Frieza could be the next arc? I think a lot of people assume that Black Frieza is the next arc, but we don't know that for sure. It may be the arc after. It might be something else for down the road. We don't have full answers on any of this yet. Hopefully we'll know soon. But whatever's coming next, whatever the next story arc is going to be, whether it be Black Frieza, whether it be something with the Demon Realm, prior to that, we're going to get this Clean God story to kind of, get the engines revved up for the longer Dragon Ball Super manga arc to come. So that's good news if you ask me, because we haven't really had anything new in Dragon Ball Super in almost 2 years. Black Frieza was August of 2022. So, and I want to comment too on the Daima thing, because I've said this in other videos and streams. When I was told that Daima's story was going to tie into Super, that was prior to Toriyama's passing. And I say that because when Toriyama passed away in March, that may have actually changed a lot of what the plans were, but we don't know. We really don't know what Toriyama was planning. There's been rumors of another movie, all kinds of different discussion points for upcoming content. Akio's been hyping up more stuff, but again, we don't know, and we don't know what changed when Toriyama passed away. But if Dragon Ball Daima is going to end in February/March, then would that not be the perfect time for them to bring Super back if they're going back to the Demon Realm, or if they're going to meet somebody that was introduced in Daima or involve a character that was talked about in Daima? It would make sense. That way we have context for what's coming up. So a lot of theories have been out there. I've seen a lot of you guys comment that you think that Raimus will be coming into Super, and that's pretty smart of you to think that, because they wouldn't just introduce that character and just say, hey, here's the new god of everything, or the original god who created everything, and he's still alive, by the way. Oh, wait a minute. If he was dead, okay, then, Daima takes place before Super. But bottom line is, there's going to be a mini story with Clean God, Goten, and Trunks. And after that is when the manga, we presume, will go back into publication monthly. Like I said, it actually kind of makes more sense that it comes back after Daima for that reason. So I will be back tonight if there's big Daima news at 3 a.m. Plus, I'll be back tomorrow with the episode 11 breakdown of Daima's episode that aired earlier today. And Sunday, I'll be live talking about all this stuff. Jump Festa, Super's Return, Clean God, all that good stuff. So check out the videos on your screen right now. Take care of yourself. See you real soon.
One of the most challenging aspects of Vegeta's journey was battling his inner demons. Memories of past defeats, especially at the hands of foes like Frieza, initially held him back. By confronting and overcoming these doubts, he fortified his resolve. And while the gods provided the philosophy and foundational understanding of the power which Vegeta seeks, Beerus served as Vegeta's sparring partner. Their duels, swift and intense, were lessons in finesse, control, and strategy. And through his unwavering determination, rigorous training, and deep introspection, Vegeta had not only mastered his Ultra Ego form, but also became a testament of indomitable power. By integrating the God of Destruction's power into his very being, he proved once again why he remains one of Universe 7's most formidable warriors.
Since Goku is small again, Dragon Ball Daima brought back the power pole, and I could not be more excited. In the original Dragon Ball series, we saw a young Goku using the power pole. This pole was really important in the story and had a lot of prominence during the first Dragon Ball series, but in Dragon Ball Z, we saw it practically disappear from use since Goku no longer needed it. But now, in Dragon Ball Daima, the power pole is back and is also one of the central elements of the story again. Because of the de-aging, Goku lost many of his signature abilities and skills and is considerably weaker than before, so in order to better defend himself, he needs to rely now on his power pole again due to his shorter combat range. He's still capable of transforming into a Super Saiyan, however, though, as we've seen in recent episodes. Since Dragon Ball Daima, the latest installment in the Dragon Ball series, is the final work of Akira Toriyama, it's a really nice touch that he wanted one of the objects most loved by the fans of the original Dragon Ball to make a return.
This is breaking news. As I'm recording this, the Dragon Ball panel for Jump Festa hasn't even begun yet, but we're already getting an absolutely explosive announcement that a lot of us have been waiting for in the community. I'm literally shaking right now. You can probably even hear it in the inflection of my voice. So this was an artwork that Toyotaro did for Jump Festa, and a lot of people were really excited for it. Everybody was going, wow, Toyotaro's just drawing Black Frieza for everybody to see. Keep in mind, this is Black Frieza, a manga exclusive character, and Toyotaro's doing official artwork of him for this event. So a lot of people were wondering, he's not drawing a Goku, he's not drawing a Daima Goku, he's specifically drawing a Dragon Ball Super character that he created. Again, Frieza is not a Dragon Ball Super character specifically, but the Black Frieza form is. So this got the hype train rolling. This made a lot of people raise one eyebrow. And now we finally have official confirmation. The Dragon Ball Super manga is returning in February. So, this is from DBS Hype. Dragon Ball Super one-shot, that's key, will be published in V-Jump April 2025 issue, releasing in February. This one-shot seems to be about Trunks and Goten. More info should be revealed next month. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. What do we see here? We see Goten, and we see Trunks, and we see Clean God himself. Now, I've already seen some people in the comments raging about this, saying, no, we are so not back. What do you mean we're getting Dragon Ball Super back, but it's a one-shot featuring Goten and Trunks? Okay, so let's use our context clues. Again, I'm recording this before the Dragon Ball panel. If you're watching this later and they already announced that it's coming back, that's amazing. Maybe they didn't announce anything yet. Like DBS Hype says, we should be getting more info revealed next month. So, what does this tell me? Whatever legal issue they were having behind the scenes with Dragon Ball Super being published by Toyotaro is over. As we know, he's now credited as the creator of Dragon Ball. Maybe not the sole creator, like of course everybody knows Toriyama created it, but he is the copyright holder. He is the current creator, however you want to say it. He's credited in Dragon Ball Legends by Bird Studios, so he is the guy. He is that guy. So what did...
Shouts out to get your accreditation. You know, one of the things about putting in that work is because you putting in that work.
Does this tell me? This tells me that we are finally past all of that legal mumbo jumbo of, oh, Toyotaro, you cannot come back and do Dragon Ball Super in the manga because of all these legal issues behind the scenes. We got Dragon Ball Daima. And I had previously speculated, based off the leaks, that Dragon Ball Daima will probably end in February if it really is only 20 episodes. And then if it is only 20 episodes, they're probably not wanting to overlap Daima and Super's manga, so they're going to probably do something in February or maybe March. Well, a lot of people were casting doubts on this thing not working out since it's a one-shot. Keep in mind, this is probably the calm before the storm. In fact, I would be very confident in saying this is the calm before the storm. There's no official information out yet, but a one-shot, guys. This is the perfect way to bring Dragon Ball Super back after its hiatus. Getting characters out there again. You don't want to just open up with a Black Frieza appearance. You know, you want to, like, build up to that. Obviously, we've been building up to it. And I know a lot of fans are kind of, at this point, I don't want to say impatient, but we're tired of waiting. And I get it. Trust me, I do. But we have to remember, Toriyama's favorite stuff in Dragon Ball was the Gohan high school arc in the Buu saga. I was reading an interview, and he was basically talking with Toyotaro about it. Toyotaro loved that stuff, and Toriyama said he loved it too. He just liked the slice of life stuff. And then I believe Toyotaro also said that he loved doing the high school arc. I think he said that was his favorite original arc to do in Dragon Ball Super. And you can tell because he's doing it again. Now keep in mind this is a one-shot, so you fans of Goten and Trunks, here's some more content for you guys. I really love the slice of life high school stuff that Toyotaro did with these two before the superhero manga recap arc, and we are getting it again. And I'm really excited because this means Dragon Ball Super's hype train is back. We got Dragon Ball Super news back in the zeitgeist of Dragon Ball. So this is really exciting for me, because now we have Dragon Ball Daima news to talk about, Dragon Ball Super news to talk about. Like, it's just an exciting time to be a Dragon Ball fan. So, this is all I'm seeing from DBS Hype right now. He did just post this. The new one-shot is a side story. We'll know more about it next month. Currently no news about monthly chapters resumption. Though if I had to guess, I'd say that'd be announced shortly after the new one-shot, but let's see. In the meantime, here's the new Black Frieza illustration in high quality. But yeah, this is basically what I was saying just a moment ago. This is the return, the calm before the storm. They are not going to be putting out this amazing look at Torotaro's one-shot with Goten and Trunks and not do anything afterwards for a year. That would be unfortunate if it was. But the reason why it was so delayed was because of the legal issues behind the scenes. That's resolved. They're basically throwing Torotaro a bone and saying, go crazy with what you want to have fun with. And like I said, Torotaro loved the Goten and Trunks stuff that he did before the superhero recap. And I think that's stuff that Toriyama loved to do as well. And we are getting that as our return to basically dip our toes into Super. So yeah, guys, this is it. We are finally back. The drought is over. Well, I guess it's not over quite yet because we do have to wait until February before we get this. But the drought is over in terms of news. I will keep you guys posted. I will be updating you guys if there's any more news from the Dragon Ball panel in just a few hours. I will be making a video on it, and I will continue to make Dragon Ball news and commentary videos because I love Dragon Ball with all of my heart and soul, and I am just so excited that I'm able to talk about Dragon Ball Super again. I can't even concentrate, dude. This is amazing. I'm just excited. I hope you guys are too. If you are, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary. And I will see you in the next one. Peace off.
Oh, yeah. See, everybody's getting excited. Uh-oh. Here we go with Peter.
I want to say this during this debug, and I'm getting a little heated right now, but that's more so because Danko doesn't actually do research and is like weirdly trying to pander to Peter Parker fans. First of all, you don't have to pander to them right now because they're down bad. Why are they down bad? Because Zeb Wells hates them. Zeb Wells hates Spider-Man fans. He's cucking him right now. He's beefing with Tombstone. He's getting punched by the dude that's smashing his ex-chick. It's a hard year for Spider-Man fans. Like, genuinely, I've had people on my own server, which you guys should join, just a shameless plug, that are counting down when Zeb Wells stops writing Spider-Man. So the fans are already down bad, okay? You don't need to pander to them. They've pretty much given up hope, okay? And the thing is, I'm okay if you say it's a close fight. Like Spider-Man and Miles is a brawl. I would be... Prepare yourself, Ten Saiyan.
So we already knew that Toyotaro was going to draw something for us to tease exactly what the next arc and the future of Dragon Ball Super's manga is going to be. But not only did I not expect for him to go this hard on the artwork that he did, but at the exact same time, we actually got a direct tease as to what the next chapter is going to be of the Super manga, and I believe 100% that we finally have a connection between the Dragon Ball Super manga and the Dragon Ball Daima storyline. So in this video, I am going to be giving you guys all the information on everything that just came out today. And as always, if you love Dragon Ball, I cover Dragon Ball. It's a match made in heaven. Hit that like button, support the channel. You guys are awesome. Let's go ahead and jump in. First, let's get into something that's actually extremely wholesome, and that is that we got the designs for Majin Ku and Majin Du from Akira Toriyama himself. Rest in peace. This is the design of Majin Ku, and when Akira Toriyama draws him, honestly, it still doesn't work for me even. It's just the design, the overall design, too much like a Cyberman, but we found out in the latest episode the reasoning why. So the reasoning why to me is why I'm changing my mindset on Majin Ku, because he was never meant to be the full-on threat that his big brother Majin Buu actually is. Look at this ferocious design here. He not only looks equal parts adorable, but also equal parts like unhinged, and I think it is the black eyes. Personally, and people are saying this, compared to Fat Buu, that this is a better design when it comes to like a Fat Majin. Honestly, this is a far cuter design because Fat Buu is not cute in the slightest. He's not adorable. There's nothing redeeming in that sense about him besides the fact that he looks silly and sometimes he looks like this.
He just said this boo right here, shouts out to the boo, shout out, you know what I'm saying? You screenshot that if you want. That's why I got to pause for you. Anyways, yeah, that boy ain't got no alibi. He ugly.
This guy, he looks great. So that's the first thing that came out. But what we got in store, guys, I could not have expected at all because we actually got what the next Dragon Ball Super manga arc is going to be announced, and it was announced on 3 different stages, 3 different panels at the V-Jump stage, and that is this, the Clean God arc. It's a mini arc, like almost like a small little transitional arc, I would say, in between Dragon Ball Daima and the next Dragon Ball Super manga. That's right. Now, it's not 100% confirmed when this arc is supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out in a few months, though. It did say early 2025, but it's not saying January or February. But honestly, it looks like more than likely this is going to come out right after Dragon Ball Daima. That way they get the Dragon Ball Daima story completely out of the way, and I'm assuming whatever they build in Dragon Ball Daima is going to bleed through into this next arc, even though it is about the Clean God, who is a fictional character. Essentially, I thought he was fictional from the Dragon Ball Super manga verse, where Trunks and Goten are both fans of this character and they look up to him, but I honestly thought that this character was supposed to be a comic book character or a video game character, but it looks like he may actually be real. Now, how powerful this guy is, how strong he is, or how he got his powers, those are all going to be questions that need to be answered, but here is the artwork for him, and honestly, I like Toyotaro. He did not take a day off here. He definitely cooked with this artwork. I mean, he makes Clean God actually look like an actual threat. And as somebody that's been getting into like various superhero comic books and stories and shows that aren't just, Marvel and DC, if you've been on TikTok, you know. I think that this is going to be really fun. I'm actually excited to see this. It's a mini arc, so probably maybe a month or two. That's basically it, but it's supposed to be filler for the next arc, basically setting it up. And the fact that we're going to be getting something else that's in that time skip era in the future instead of the past, that's really what I'm excited about, because we've been in Dragon Ball Daima for quite a while, and that takes place in the past. And when we did have the Dragon Ball superhero arc, that superhero arc actually had a lot of information, not just from the superhero aspects of Dragon Ball Super, but also what's going on with Goku, Vegeta, Broly, and all of that. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see how this fits in, but this is the moment you guys have been waiting for. This is the artwork that Toyotaro teased at the beginning, or I think it's either the beginning or the middle of last month, that he said he was going to do something for the V-Jump stage, and this artwork shows us a character that we have seen before slightly in a completely high definition and new take, because we've never seen him like this, and that is this Black Frieza. This is the special V-Jump artwork that Toyotaro decided to do for the V-Jump stage, and I think that this is the best Black Frieza artwork, including fan-made stuff, that I've ever seen. And the reason for this is because this is literally the first time that we're seeing it in this version of high def, and it looks, to me and anyway, it looks like Black Frieza isn't just black, and those gray portions that are on his skin, those gray portions aren't just gray, they're metallic. So he's almost, instead of golden, he's like a shiny metallic, which really brings us back to maybe not this guy, but definitely this guy. I mean, if Metacooler was not the inspiration for Black Frieza, I don't know who was, because this looks exactly identical to Black Frieza, and it is I guess, resembling artwork that was made years ago for Black Frieza. That's kind of the homage to it. Not sure if the artwork is from a fan-made source or something that Toyotaro made. I couldn't find it. It just says that it is supposed to be an homage to that. I think it actually is artwork that was created by a fan, and that's the exact same pose that Toyotaro decided to do on his own for Black Frieza. But the fact that it is Black Frieza to me means that the next arc is going to be about him, and that is where it got me really excited, because I believe wholeheartedly, and I'll go into a video that goes deeper into this and what my theory is on what's going to happen next in the Dragon Ball Super arc, but I believe that this Frieza arc that we're going to be getting after the Clean God arc is going to be focused on this. That's right. And if you remember this scene right here, then you'll know why. But I'm going to go deeper into this in a separate video. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that I feel like I have the inside source here. I think that this is exactly the direction they're going to go to connect Daima.
I mean, at the end of the day, Frieza probably has Zuno, because, you know, shouts out to Big Zuno. Zuno, that dude with that information. That's like talking to popcorn. You come talk to popcorn when you want some information. You know, if you want all the Dragon Ball news for the week, you just come to Spider Pig on Super Saturdays, because I got all everything that I done watched or was waiting to watch with y'all. Shout out to y'all, because y'all got me over here on Saturdays doing Super Saturday-ish. You did? But anyway, Zuno, that when you go for information, and he told him, well, shit, Zeno's cool, but hell, you want to holler at Remus. You did? Holler at the dude that created everything, because, you know, Universe 0, aka the Demon Room, was the first one. And then you got all the other 18. Then you lost 6. Then, you know, they might bring him back. You never know. I mean, shouts out to Unrelenting Gaming, because he brought him back. Hell, and made 2 new ones. So we up to 20 instead of 18. But y'all know how that go.
To the present day, which honestly to me this is the only way to connect Daima to the present day. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Subscribe for more content.
The Demon Realm has an insanely powerful monster for no reason. Spoilers. It's so funny that the monster in the waters of the second Demon Realm is so strong as to have Goku say that they aren't strong enough to take him on as is. I know Goku likes a challenge, but he's also choosing not to go Super Saiyan, or 2, or 3, and in the newest episode, the Kraken's pull is so strong that Vegeta really struggles against it. In fact, after a strike from the Tamagami, he gets swallowed whole. I'm sure this is an excuse to have Vegeta explode out of him a Super Saiyan or something, but this Kraken must be at least stronger than Frieza to pose such a threat. Goku had no issues facing the Tamagami, but the Kraken? Oh yeah, he's too much.
This is going to be a lot of people's favorite episode of Daima. I mean, I can already tell that this episode is going to go viral. First of all, if you by any chance don't want to be spoiled, I mean, you guys know how I do these reviews, man. I go into it. Now, obviously, tomorrow we'll be doing a full breakdown of this episode. There's a lot to talk about, but this episode is going to be a lot of people's favorites. It's so far absolute peak. This episode was so raw in so many different ways. Dragon Ball Daima episode 12 called True Strength. And that's applicable to a lot of different things. If you like top-notch Dragon Ball combat, this episode is for you. The entire first half and most of the second half of this episode was just fights. Continuing where we left off from last week with Vegeta versus Tamagami 2 and Majin Buu versus Tamagami 1. But before I go into the episode, I want to announce that yes, we've already got Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta merchandise right now. Here are the details. Finally, Vegeta has achieved Super Saiyan 3, and we're ready for you here in the Geekdom 101 store. Brand new piece of merchandise. The Vegeta, finally, the prince has achieved the maximum power from Dragon Ball Z, and that is Super Saiyan 3, as he did in episode 12 of Daima. You can pick up this shirt. You can pick it up as a hoodie, as a graphic tee, even as a clock, all kinds of different things and various colors and sizes right now for a limited time. Everything is 25% off, so take advantage. The new Super...
I like how Akira Toriyama did that, though. He said Sonic the Hedgehog been stealing my swag for a minute. Because, you know, I believe Dragon Ball started before Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I believe it did. So, therefore, since Sonic stole your whole flow, he came back and clipped Sonic and made him look like Vegeta Super Saiyan 3. I appreciate that, though. I mean, that's some of that real revenge type shit. That's some real get back. Toriyama showed his get back side. He said, "I'm gonna let that shit slide at first, but don't think I'm not gonna slide back on y'all when I got an opportunity." Because he took that opportunity to slide them right back. He said, "Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog is doing real good now. They done started making live action movies. Shout out to them going into live action, because I'm finna go ahead and still all day thunder in the middle of the winter." You see what I'm saying? You got that Sonic 3 that just came out on Christmas. You got Super Saiyan 3 that just came out on Christmas. That's one hell of a get back, if you ask me. Stole the whole
Vegeta merch line,
flow.
exclusive to the Geekdom 101 merch store. The link is down below. So as I said, the last episode left off with Vegeta getting swallowed by the Kraken, and in this episode he just gets out. Like, he just gets out. And it was almost like they did a cliffhanger for the sake of it being a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? It was almost like they just had to throw it in because this fight was going to go more than one episode. It was kind of a forced cliffhanger now that I look back on it. But the actual fight with Tamagami 2 and Vegeta was really good, and so was the Majin Buu fight with Tamagami 1. Now, surprisingly enough, Tamagami 2 and Tamagami 1 are actually stronger than we thought, and what ends up happening is, during the fight, Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 1 and then 2, and he's going blow for blow with Tamagami 2. But what happens is that Nevi uses his magic. Again, this dude's got really powerful magical abilities, and he sort of enhances and powers up Tamagami 2 to where Tamagami 2 kind of transforms, sort of, in a way. He doesn't change entirely how he looks, but he starts to glow like purple and blue. Like, it was really badass looking. And when I think about Dragon Ball Daima and the new characters and all the new things that Daima is doing, I think the Tamagamis might actually be my favorite newest Toriyama design. They just look so badass, bro. The sort of cybernetic type of vibe, but they're alive, they're sentient, the different weapons they have. I mean, you know, I really like the Tamagamis. With this episode, they're kind of cutting back and forth between Vegeta Tamagami 2 and Buu Tamagami 1. And what ends up happening with Majin Buu is he starts to struggle a bit. And basically the way that it's really wacky. Like I said, that fight is played up a bit more for comedy, whereas the Vegeta Tamagami fight was way more serious, and they were both fun for different reasons. But the choreography, the animation, the directing was just second to none in this episode. So what happens is
Morning, Izzy.
Majin Buu
How you
needs a
doing?
chocolate boost because
Good
I
to
guess
see you. Hopefully, have another
chocolate
day in
motivates
paradise.
him, and so he
Y'all
does
know
that.
to check
He's
out
able
Izzy.
to defeat Tamagami 1. Remember, it's not about killing the Tamagamis, it's about just defeating them in battle. So Majin Buu is awarded the 1-star Dragon Ball. Now, while the fight's going on, a bunch of the military police show up to watch the fight, and as Goma and Degasu are in the castle watching Vegeta Tamagami 2, they realize that, wait a minute, what is this? What is going on? So this is the episode where Goma realizes that, like, he legitimately realizes that Dr. Arinsu is up to something, because they see the Majin Buu, Majin Buu, and Dr. Arinsu with the 1-star Dragon Ball, and they're like, wait a minute, what is this? Remember, he didn't know until now. So The other thing too, just like with Tamagami 3, is that Tamagami 1 and 2, when you defeat them in battle, you still have to solve like a puzzle. You still have to do like a non-combat puzzle in order to get the Dragon Ball. So again, this feels, I've said before that Daima feels like a JRPG with a lot of Star Wars infused into it. This feels like a lot like something you see in a video game. You know what I mean? Like, again, like a JRPG, you're solving a puzzle in order to really get what you have to do, and Majin Ku helps Majin Du solve his puzzle and get the 1-star Dragon Ball. So I want to say the Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 transformation scene is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this needs to be seen. If you are a Vegeta fan, if you know Vegeta fans, you must see it, because when he goes Super Saiyan 3, bro, this shit goes into serious business. Serious business. We see Vegeta he's just stunning on this man, bro. He's faster, he's stronger. Tamagami 2 can't land a hit. At one point, Tamagami 2 tries to attack Vegeta with the trident, and Vegeta uses his Super Saiyan 3 power to break it. That was freaking incredible, yo. Incredible. Like, this fight and this moment, I think, surpassed the Goku Tamagami 3 fight. I saw a lot of comments this week from people who were saying stuff like, well, Vegeta is gonna job again. He's a jobber, and he can never get a win, and that's not true. I understand that people want Vegeta to be the main villain. I get that. People have wanted that for decades, and I don't think Tamagami 2 is a main villain at all, but this was still one of the greatest Vegeta moments of all time. Like, it was just so well done and so epic, and the way that he did it, his he loses the eyebrows, the hair spikes back like Sonic. I obviously broke this story back in September. Don't you ever doubt me again. Anybody out there who doubts me, brother, don't you ever doubt me again, son. Don't you ever. And I don't want to hear about Dragon Ball Super in 2019, because I've already explained in 3 different videos what happened. And if you don't want to accept that, bro, the truth, that's on you, man. But the majority of you come here because you know I'm not going to BS you. And trust me, when I first heard about Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, I didn't believe it. I thought I was being trolled. Then I double sourced it, and it's true, and it blew my mind, because I really thought I was being trolled. Now, I'm sure people are wondering, wait a minute, if Vegeta does Super Saiyan 3 here, but yet later in Dragon Ball's timeline in the Super era, why did Vegeta not use Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Super? Well, I speculated when I first dropped the story that Vegeta has always known about Super Saiyan 3 since Goku did it in the Majin Buu saga. So it's not like Vegeta doesn't know about the form. He's seen the form. Now we see him unlock it. And the thing is, though, you have to remember, Super Saiyan 3 is a transformation that is flawed. Tons of power, tons of defense and stamina, but the energy consumption is very, very high. The energy consumption is just, it drains you. So Super Saiyan 3 is the transformation that, while it is powerful, that drawback, sort of like Trunks' grade 3 form when he got buff, that drawback makes it a lot harder to win in battles. And so when Goku was trying to do Super Saiyan 3 against Kid Buu, if you remember, his body couldn't take it. And Kid Buu has an incredibly high level of stamina, so killing him would have been damn near impossible, because he would have kept regenerating. Majin Buu was a problem, you know what I mean? So Super Saiyan 3 is a transformation that, to me, should only be used if you're going to end a fight quickly, if that's even a thing. So I'm guessing that what happens is that Vegeta realizes that Super Saiyan 3's drawbacks are not worth using, and so he sticks with Super Saiyan 2. I don't think it's a plot hole, because we've already known, going back to Dragon Ball Z, that Super Saiyan 3 has flaws. We've already known this. It's been stated. Vegeta said it. It's even in the guidebooks. I'm sorry, Vegeta saw it. Goku said it. It's even in the guidebooks. So to me, I don't think this is the plot hole. I think it's just that Vegeta chose not to use Super Saiyan 3 anymore. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're going to say, but Danny, are they doing this just for fan service? Yeah, there's no question this is just fan service. I mean, when they were writing Daima, Toriyama knew that he couldn't give Vegeta any of the God forms, and certainly not anything like Ultra Ego. So he probably figured, let me just give the Vegeta fans Super Saiyan 3, and maybe they'll be happy. I don't know. See, there's a lot of talk throughout the years that Toriyama has said many years ago that he doesn't like Vegeta. However, when he said that, it was during the original run of the Dragon Ball manga. And as time went by, he started to like Vegeta more, which is why Vegeta sort of became the secondary main character along with Goku, especially during Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super was all about Goku and Vegeta. I mean, they had all these adventures together, you know, and all these different battles. It was all about them. So Toriyama's, I guess, opinion on Vegeta certainly changed. And I feel like this was done to throw the Vegeta fans a bone, because now that Vegeta has Super Saiyan 3, he's on par with Goku. Now, are we going to see Goku versus Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 versus Super Saiyan 3? That'd be something. That would be a fun little fight to watch. But yeah, it happened, man. It happened. And it was so freaking awesome. Tamagami 2 tries to stab him with the trident. Vegeta uses one finger to block everything and then breaks it. And then he does this like chop where like the water splits in half. Dude, this was so awesome. Then Vegeta comes in, bah, 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 with punches, just hammering Tamagami 2, bro. He didn't know what hit him. Who's your daddy, Tamagami 2? So he's smashing him, right? Smashing him. And then he goes for a super Gallic gun. And just like the fight with Tamagami 3, 2 is able to hold it back and push it up. But that is a momentary distraction for Vegeta to come in and connect with a huge left hook to the jaw. That's Mike Tyson's favorite punch. A left hook to the jaw. Bam! And then Vegeta literally gets... This was so awesome, bro. This is incredible. Seek this out. He gets right next to Tamagami 2 and, like, holds him. And then he goes down. He drops him. And that's it. Fight's over. Vegeta has won. And Vegeta has earned the 2-star Dragon Ball. Well, they do a little puzzle thing. And then he's earned the 2-star Dragon Ball. Just incredible, yo. This was my favorite moment in Dragon Ball Daima so far, and so far, this has now become my favorite episode. And let me tell you, Daima will not be airing next week. It'll be on a 1-week break next week for New Year's. Daima will resume, I believe, January the 10th is when episode 13 will air, and that's going to begin the journey to Demon Realm number 1, the Red Demon Realm where Goma is at, and the beginning of the big chaotic finale. So, lots to look forward to here. But man, what a way to end 2024, yo. We got Vegeta and Goku have 2 of the Dragon Balls. Dr. Arintu has 1. Goma just found out that Dr. Arintu may not have his best interests, and the journey is going to continue. The story continues. So we got 8 more episodes of Daima, plenty of time for a lot of stuff to happen. But man, this episode will be talked about for years to come. Also, I should clarify something else too, because I had heard about this a while ago, but I wasn't sure what to make of it. So when Neva does his magic, he's actually powering up the Dragon Ball. Like when Tamagami powers up and he's got the blue aura. And I had heard, and I don't remember where, because it was months ago, I had heard that like the Dragon Balls in the Demon Realm also work like energy. Like they give you power, not like actual fighting power, like magical power. And this was months ago when I was first finding out about the Tamagamis, and now it all makes sense. Like the Dragon Ball is what powered the Tamagami to get into that second form, you know, that purple form with the blue aura. It was so awesome looking. And actually at one point Tamagami won during the Majin Buu fight, powers up and has like a red aura around him. So, I guess he was also tapping into his true power. Hell, the episode's called True Strength, right? But Neba wasn't there to power up the Dragon Ball. So either this is something different or Tamagami 1 knows how to do it. The Tamagamis usually, from what I understand, the Tamagamis, the lower the number, the stronger they are. So Tamagami 1 would be the strongest out of the 3, but watching this episode, it really did seem like 2 was stronger thanks to Neba's power-up. So maybe the power-up, maybe if he had done that to Tamagami 1, then maybe Tamagami 1 would have been so OP that he would have beat Majin Buu. But that's not what happened here. Either way, man, I love the Tamagamis, dude. They are a true treat to watch in Dragon Ball Daima. And we also find out that Majin Buu is a math whiz because the puzzle that Tamagami 1 showed Majin Buu was a bunch of numbers that had to be added up. Remember in that movie Matilda when the teacher goes through these complicated problems and she just solves it like that because she's a super genius? So Majin Buu might be very weak as a fighter, but he's super smart when it comes to math. He's like Matilda in that case. There's a reference. I love that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I like it a lot. When I was a kid, I used to watch it all the time. And Majin Buu's also a karaoke singer, but Majin Buu was the hero here, so he wasn't totally worthless, because had that puzzle not been solved, they wouldn't have the 1-star ball. So after the fight, Goku actually offers Vegeta one of the revive bugs, the ones that work like a senzu bean, and Vegeta says that he'll never eat a bug. So the cliffhanger is Goma says, well, there's only one thing left to do, and that's the...
So the foreshadowing actually is Vegeta's going to have to eat the fusion bug whenever everything crack off and everybody had a fuse, because it's going to go down.
Cliffhanger. Man, I cannot wait. Remember, no Daima episode next week. They're going to be off for a week. Daima will be back on the 10th, and that's also the same day that the English dub episodes are going to start to pop up on Crunchyroll. So that's good news. It's going to be a big day for Dragon Ball, January 10th. I would love to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. I'll be back tomorrow with the breakdown of this episode, but thumbs up. Best episode of Daima so far. It's getting better, and I had a blast with this one. I can't wait to talk to you guys on Sunday with Mr. Senpai discussing Daima episode 12 and 2025. Keep it locked into my channel. See you guys tomorrow.
Just gather up the Earth's Dragon Balls and have Shenron tell us where the Super Dragon Ball is hidden.
Oh, yeah! Must admit I'm impressed. Turns out you really are more than just an overbearing man.
What up, Think Dragon? Appreciate you for getting up. Probably getting you done with your workout this morning.
Never mind. Hey, Vegeta! Yes, sir! Go fetch. Yes, sir! The Dragon Radar! Ready? Bye!
Whoa, wish he'd obey me like that. Okay, here we go. I summon forth the Eternal Dragon Shenron!
You really get things done quick.
And for those who don't know, that is BBL Boma. Shouts out to BBL Boma. Demon's the reason why she been running around all of Super, gathering the Dragon Balls and wishing to look younger. Because back in Demon, she got to look like she was 8 years old again. So, shouts out to her. She trying to go back to it. She like BBL Boma.
Quickly, don't you, Vegeta? Precisely what I look for in a gopher.
You don't thank people by humiliating them! Ignore him, sweetie. You did good.
Hey, are you nuts? You know I hate your sneak attacks.
He called her kiss on the cheek a sneak attack. All right, it's time for our meat and potatoes of the show. For those who don't know, it's Super Saturdays. Welcome back. It's your boy TWP, a.k.a. Spider P, a.k.a. Let's Get It In.
Jesus Christ, really? Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access.
Hype in the pipe.
Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined this Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the domino! okay for laughing. Do you realize the fucking crisis here?
And you will use next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? Aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
I mean, that sums up DBZ Broly in one line. So what you gonna do? Stand there and scream Goku, say your name, Kakarotto.
Now, this was most certainly an unexpected and surprising turn of events to have unfold, and while our attention has now completely shifted over onto our newly arrived guest, if there was ever a time for Universe 7 to stand in unity against any such being that threatens it, then now would be the perfect time in having all of us do so before it's too late.
Okay.
As our story now continues, following the initial events of the demon spy known as Haas now being infiltrated and caught by Whis and having to answer before God of Destruction Beerus, as with the demon now having to be left completely defenseless and also now being outnumbered and having to face off against Beerus, Whis, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, was when Beerus went on to then touch back down by then responding, "So, you return to spy on my planet after everything you've done to cause the mess that you did here on my world now, did you? And as I have tolerated far too many intrusions into Universe 7 as of late, and here you are slithering back like the foul creature that you are, and honestly truly thinking that we weren't going to catch you," Beerus continues. "Well, would you go and look at that now, you disgusting little worm? Tell me, did you really think that hiding within the shadows was going to keep you safe long enough for us not to grab hold of you? For you would have been mistaken, as you must have some kind of a death wish for coming back here to spy on my planet after everything you've caused and all the chaos you've helped spread throughout my universe. And yet even now you still dare to return, for I'll be the first to go and tell you that this isn't bravery, demon, but more or less rather for you, it's death," Beerus continues, "for spying on my world was not just foolish, but it was a declaration of war against me, and so now tell me, why exactly are you crawling around within my universe?" Beerus questions. "And what exactly did you go and do with my blood samples that you have collected? For I want to know every secret that you carry and every scrap of information that you have. Or, you miserable little creature, I will go on to rip your very essence apart until there is nothing left that remains of you but dust within the wind, demon. And so now start talking, or I am going to vaporize you until there is nothing left." As a frightened demon, Haas then went on to quickly respond, Wait, okay, I'll talk, because since I already have nothing more that's left for me to lose here against you, then I guess I am hereby left with no other choice but to then tell you, but I will go as far as to say that no matter what you try and do, and no matter what you try and convince yourself with, once this is all said and done, you are all doomed once the Dark Masters are able to finally have their way with your blood destroyer, because
fucking Rescue Rangers.
you and your kind are irreplaceable by design. Wait until you get a look at what our top scientists have been engineering by using your DNA. And so for me, well, I'm just the lookout, Haas continues, the watchful eye, if you will. And so because I am, I will be the least of your worries, God of Destruction. But I will say that if you think that it'll stop with me, then you are sadly mistaken, Haas says. And that is because let's just say if you do go and take my life as a result,
It might be a cleaning service where you're from, with Chip and Dale with the Rescue Rangers. I might have to do a video about that, thanks.
Just go ahead and do to me as you like, but sooner or later the same will be done unto you. Once Lord Rajin and the Dark Masters come bursting through your front door, God of Destruction.
Why you want your half-naked men to come clean your house?
Try and threaten me with you. I've heard all that I needed to hear out of you, Beerus went on to then suddenly interrupt. For if that is all that you have to offer me while your life dangles on the line here in front of me, demon, enough is enough, Beerus continues. And since you have lived far longer than you should have been allowed to go and live, this is where you will go and meet the end of your line, demon. But then, it was suddenly from out of nowhere as Demon Haas then began to glow with even Haas himself not knowing as to what was going on, was when Haas then went on to quickly respond, what the, and just what is this? Wait, no, this isn't coming from the Destroyer, but rather, no, please, Master, I beg of you, just please go and give me another chance. Hey, Gohan then went on to quickly chime in, is he supposed to be glowing like that, or wait a minute now, Beerus went on to then quickly respond, and what exactly is this creature up
Shout out to the big homie.
suddenly starting...
Y'all know my other video sponsor that came in the house. Y'all know to go check out Son of Odin Seed Company. He doing this thing over there on Rumble mostly because, you know, YouTube be on that bullshit. Hey, I'm over here on that bullshit too, so I'm with the shits. Y'all know how we do. Spider Pig every Super Saturday. But, you know, go check out that dude. Get y'all some of them beans if you need them because, you know, he got them. Yeah, and if you don't believe me, y'all see, yeah, look behind me. The tent's on. The tent is on. The tent is on. The tent is on. Since he here, I might as well show him what's growing on. What the fuck did I do? Uh-oh. Change the camera. Change it back. Change the camera. And change it back. Make it an 18 plus video, but hell, YouTube got to catch me first. Shouts out to them ladies. There's 4 of the clones that are still going. Most of the rest of them done died off, so I got to get some more put in pots later on today. But you know, check in with TWP for that. Check in with TWP for that. She said the dad robe. Of course, I got the dad robe on. Hell, y'all already know. I ain't even, I'm dressed, but I got pants on. You see what I'm saying? I got pants on. I ain't over here looking like I ain't got no pants on, right? I got the robe on because, you know, that's what we've been doing. It's homework 2024. No, it's 2025 for homework. The workbook was 2024, but y'all know how we do. We keeping it popping. Let's get back to Dragon Ball before all the fucking people in the comments start hating again. Oh my God, you had to start talking again, Popcorn. Just fucking review the video.
To glow with this strange dark energy around him, but then it was only just upon with Beerus now beginning to ponder on this question, with the demon Haas's body being shown having to get tugged towards an incoming portal, was when the demon god Rajin then went on to chime in.
That's enough. For you have gone as far as you possibly could go, and yet even your best has proven to have been a mistake, and a mistake that will cost you dearly, demon, for what an utterly pathetic and useless creature you are to have been captured the way that you have, as I will hereby ensure that you are dealt with once we have returned back into the demon realm, and I'll go and make sure of that personally.
See, the Izzy, it's a black robe. To me, it's my black lab coat. You know what I'm saying? We be in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this damn label off. But y'all know the aftermath.
But for the time being, you are to wait for my return and stay out of my way.
And the others cannot believe it, because with Gohan, Beerus, and Goku now left baffled at seeing Raijin now for the very first time, was when Beerus then went on to chime back in. Wait a minute now, and just what gives here? What is this? And what exactly is that which is starting to manifest on the other side here? Is that another demon? No, this appears to be something more, with Gohan responding, whoa, and just who the heck is that? And that energy, look, I think he's starting to peer through now, as Whis went on to then touchdown by then chiming in. Listen to me very carefully. For the time being, I want you to go and hold your ground and do not engage, Lord Beerus. For if this is whom I think that it is, then I want you to cease any attacks for as long as you can. As Raijin then went on to peer through by then responding, so I see
y'all know to buy me a coffee link in the video description.
Last time I had gone as far as to watch you gods of destruction come into your positions of power, and ever since, the tales of your destruction
I will see you later, Izzy.
have done you any justice, Beerus. For not only have you become become a mockery of what a true god is supposed to represent, but for you to also house mortal warriors on your planet like this was but all another reason as to why that fallen angel Myrno should have destroyed you all when he had the chance, Rajin says, as that angel should have went and set aside his pride and finished what he had went and started, but no matter, because of all the universes that I've been told about, your universe appears to be the most troublesome of the 12, and so now I can't help but wonder, after finally having to meet you, on whether or not it is your incompetence or is it your arrogance that allows for such weakness to flourish within such a universe as this one, as Goku then went on to quickly chime in. That energy, but of course, for it has to be him. That's the one. That's the Dark Lord of the Underworld that I had overheard the Dark Masters in wanting to go and set free, Lord Beerus. For I can now remember sensing this exact power when I was held captive within the demon realm, and so I know that's Lord Raijin. Wait a minute now, so this was the power that you had been sensing while down there now, is it? So this is the god of the demon realm then? Well, so be it. As Raijin went on to then continue, then to think that a god of destruction would go and stoop so low as to fraternize with mere mortals disgusts me. You and your kind, you so-called deities have become soft, complacent, and tainted by the influence of those who you were meant to tower above. For do you believe that their lives gives you purpose, god of destruction, Raijin questions? Or have you already forgotten what it means to wield true divine authority since I've been away? And as that rotten angel Myrno was right to have wanted to wipe you all out when he saw the opportunity in doing so, but it's just too bad that just like you, he simply wasn't strong enough to see through with his mission until the very end of his miserable and pathetic erasure. But unlike him, I, on the other hand, will not falter, for my mission isn't to destroy you all, because why waste all of this valuable life when I can enslave you rather than simply eliminate you, Raijin says. For I do not fear you creatures, even yourself, god of destruction, and so don't go and assume that I would, because maybe if it were not for your association with such life forms, then maybe you would have still been able to command a little bit of respect around here, even as I stand before your presence. As Beerus went on to then respond, you know, I find your arrival onto my planet to be quite the impressive one, because even while it's only been just a few minutes since you've been standing there and running your mouth towards me, have I only grown to now despise you ever so much. But here, Beerus continues upon being shown sticking his arm out, let me go and give you a little friendly reminder on just how soft and complacent we deities can really be, since it only now appears as though that you may have seemed to have forgotten, demon. And so now do yourself a favor while you're here and just hold still and stay right where you are and allow for me to go and leave you speechless, Beerus says. To which it was only seconds later within that very moment as Beerus had went as far as to let out multiple energy blasts at Raijin was when, surprisingly enough, Raijin went on to freeze each and every single one of Beerus's blasts by then responding, fine, leaving me now, was it? With a surprised Beerus then going off by responding, wait, say what now? But how did he just go and stop them in their place like that without having to even go as far as to move a muscle? Did anyone else go and see him move? Because I certainly didn't, with Ultra Instinct Goku responding, no, but what does it look like that he is about to go and do? As Raijin went on to then stick his arm out by then responding, just because I may appear to look old does not mean that I still haven't retained the vast amount of knowledge that I have accumulated throughout my time as the god of the underworld. For even though I have yet to fully cross over into your realm while remaining where I currently am, Raijin continues, does not mean that I still cannot go use my magic to my advantage here against you if I need to. And so if you confuse my appearance in assuming that I am indeed no match for either of you, Raijin went on to then snap his fingers upon now being shown blowing away all of Beerus's blasts, then you are all gravely mistaken if you think that I would fold under such circumstances and conditions. With Beast Gohan then quickly asking, oh, and so how's about it then? Should we go and blast him out of that wormhole or what, Dad? With Goku responding, right then, and so now let's go and show him otherwise then, Gohan, so on your move. To which as Gohan and Goku were then shown having to attempt to blast Raijin, was when Raijin had then gone as far as to reposition his arm upwards and redirecting their attacks by then responding, such feeble attempts of daring to try and attack me as a collective will only go as far as to ensure one thing when this is all over, and that one thing that I will go as far as to guarantee is your complete and absolute obliteration from the face of existence without possibly having to return. Oh, just great, Gohan says. Well, brace yourselves, everyone, because it looks like it's making its way right back towards us. But then, it was only from out of nowhere with Whis now shown using his staff and having to smack away Goku and Gohan's collective.
That boy Rookie just told them niggas. He said, don't do shit. Don't do shit. Y'all niggas ain't gonna be able to do nothing against this nigga. He already done told them niggas, but they ain't listening. They ain't listening. As the circles keep rolling, I'm gonna get my next blunt rolled up too, cause hell, I'm going hard in the paint, I guess. I might have to take a nap later on, cause I done got too high this morning. But hell, that happens. Y'all don't even get to see that part behind the scenes. But hell, I'll tell you about it. Nigga be getting so high in the morning, by 3 o'clock, I might be asleep. All my work will be done. That's a good thing about getting my work done on camera. Shout out to hitting record button or go live, whichever way you prefer it. Triple B over here is talking that shit this morning. I might just start an OnlyFans. Hell, I need to get them dollars up. Got a lot of people who want to do collaborations. I just don't do that type of content. But Popcorn, you be on your YouTube all the time. Why don't you get on the camera? Man. That be that bullshit, right? That be that bullshit. I figure out why that don't never go. Hey, this motherfucker has been loading for like a minute now. Here, let me turn it on me. Put me on camera while we waiting on the video. It's over here done paused on me. Pause. What do they say? I'm gonna put in some work anyway, so I'm gonna go to Triple B channel, make sure I got his links saved. Cause you know we gotta drop him sponsor links in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get that bag. Copy link. Copied it. That's done. Alright, so now it should officially be in my clipboard. Come back to the chat. Oh yeah, man. Hell. When I first started the video, I looked down, I had like 20 people watching. I was surprised, I think. And it was like 15, but you know, we say 20 because it sound good. Let people know to come on and click the video. Go back. Now let's see. What do we got here? Yep. There you go. Shout out to that big homie over on Triple B Farms. Hey, that's the original. Let me go back into my clipboard. Pin that in.
Attacks away from everyone was when Whis went on to then respond. That's far enough, demon, for I will not allow for you to go and turn this planet into your own personal sandbox of destruction while I'm here, as Rajin went on to then respond. But of course, and then there's you, Angel Whis of the 7th, and just what exactly do you think gives you the right to intervene, Rajin questions? Because if memory serves me to be correct here from what I can remember about you rotten creatures, then you are forbidden to engage with me in battle here lest you warrant your own destruction by the hands of your own father, isn't that right? But since that no longer appears to be the case, what exactly has changed, Angel? With Whis responding, and I find it quite interesting that you stand there within the shadows of the demon realm and seeking answers about my actions and how they reflect onto our our angelic code, but you should go as far as to know that the boundaries which you presume to understand have shifted since Myrno's clash here against the multiverse, we says. And if you honestly truly think that I will just stand idly by, constrained by the angelic code which we follow while the multiverse teeters on the edge of calamity, then I must say that you are sorely mistaken, Demon. You angels are always so composed and always so certain of the boundaries you've crafted in this little multiversal playground that you protect, Rajin says. How cheeky of you, but hear me now, Angel, for the day will come where I will gladly go on to accept your challenge when I step through and taste these changed waters that you proudly claim. But that day will not be today, for you see, unlike you, who is bound by duty and reaction to follow, I, on the other hand, am already several moves ahead, for there is an artifact that calls for me in the meantime, which coincidentally is a power that both you and your precious order have yet to fully grasp, and once I am able to find all of these pieces which I seek, only then will I therefore go and come for you and your brethrens, for there will be no world and no void in which you will travel and hide in that I won't be able to find you all, once my mission is hereby finally complete, Raijin continues, and so in the meantime, I will be seeing you all very, very soon. This, mighty angel, I promise you, to which as Raijin was then shown vanishing back within the demon realm was when Beast Go On then went on to chime back in. Wait, and so what are we all just doing standing around for? Let's go after him before he is able to escape, especially if he's the main guy that's causing all of this, with Beast interrupting. No, you will remain where you are, for entering into the demon realm without the aid of the Grand Minister would be a death sentence for you mortals, and especially with the demon realm itself having to give them a home field advantage, it would be wise for us not to go in there alone to face such creatures unless we absolutely have no choice. And so Lord Beerus, please listen to me while I understand your frustrations towards briefly dealing with this demon god, and I only hereby ask of you to please reserve yourself, for there is nothing that we can do for the time being, as Gohan and Goku went on to power down with Gohan responding, so that's the god of the underworld that you said these Dark Masters were hoping to set free, now was it, Dad? With Goku chiming in, yeah, that's right, he's definitely the one, and now that he's free, this doesn't look like it's going to be an easy battle here to wage against these demons either, with Vegeta having to then respond, damn that bastard, this feels like Myrno all over again, especially now that this so-called demon god is back on the loose, because it's clear now that he's up to something, and we have no other choice but to find out as to what that is, with Whis having to then respond, well, now that we are all made very well aware of what exactly is going on around here, I will need for you all to go and keep a very watchful eye while I go and try my best to further better our situation elsewhere, with Beerus questioning, then just what exactly will you be doing in the meantime, because I know that you're up to something, and so what is your move going to be here, Whis? With Whis responding, well, in the meantime, I will go and try to gather together my brothers and sisters in hoping of coming up with a solution and further having to get through to the Omni King while we still can. And while I understand that this will not be easy even for us without the Omni Kings and the Grand Minister at our side, Whis continues, there is no telling on what those creatures will go and continue to do if we allow for their actions to go and...
And let me find out at the end of this damn series, Goku just presses the Xeno button and it wakes his ass up, because that's what that fucker was for. You dig? Xeno told me, if you need me, just hit the button. And either you can come to me or I'll come to you. Now, if you hit the come to me button, I'll automatically wake up and be up out that bullshit. But if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you hit the come to me button, then you'll just be right here with me, stuck asleep too. Shout out to Goku. He gonna do something goofy. I know.
Continue to go unchecked, for within our code it is said that if an angel or a god of destruction were to go and enter into a ruling domain housed by another deity first, then we are to be destroyed, Whis says, which is why if anything were to happen, we must try to go and get Raijin to cross over into our domain first in order for its deities to be given the right to fight without restriction, just as the case was when Myrno had went and arrived when he did, and so I suggest for you all to go and watch your approach while I'm away. But even if you do happen to find yourselves locked locked within a battle, then do make sure to watch your surroundings at all times. With Beerus being shown turning towards Vegeta and responding, "You hear that, Saiyan? This now means that we are all on our own until the Omni Kings and Grand Minister are to join us unless we get the job done ourselves. And unlike how it was before, I don't intend on allowing for those little worms to escape me if they are to return onto my world ever again. You hear me?" With Whis having to then respond, "And do also bear in mind that we cannot afford to risk having to lose anyone here either in case a battle were to go and break out," Whis says. So while both Goku and Vegeta remain as two of our leading forces in this fight against Raijin and his army, just go and do us all a favor, Saiyans, and just try to do your best and stay alive out there. To which it was only then within that moment as Whis was then shown having to take his leave was when Goku then went on to respond, "Oh well, in that case we better go and start getting a move on and plan ahead just in case things were to go from bad to worse without having us go and prepare beforehand," with Gohan responding, "Wait, Dad, before we go and do anything, I think it's best if we go and get Broly off of planet Vampa and keep him close, just in case we may in fact actually need him for a little later on," with Goku responding, "Hey, actually, as a matter of fact, yeah, I think you're right, but let's just hope that just in case we do, he just doesn't end up absolutely losing his mind during battle and tries to come after one of us instead, but let's go then." And so in the meantime, Goku then went on to address Vegeta by then responding, "Before I forget, it's better if we just go and grab Broly and come back here, since this already seems like it's going to be a hot spot for a potential battle, and so while we're away, and if you end up finding yourself in some kind of a danger, then just let us know, Vegeta," with Vegeta responding, "We'll be fine here in the meantime while you're gone, and so now hurry it up and get going before they end up getting to Broly before you do, Kakarot. Quit wasting time." To which that was exactly what Goku now ended up doing, because with both Gohan and Goku now having to use instant transmission and making their way towards planet Vampa was when Vegeta then went on to continue, "Oh, that idiot," which, speaking of wasting time, if there is one thing that this book that Whis had given me had taught me, it is that it appears as though these demons operate best and at their most lethal when placed within their own domain as a home field advantage, Vegeta says. And if that ends up being the case, then there must be some kind of a counter to having them feed off of that realm in order to remain within the position of control during any battle that they find themselves in. And while we now know on who it is that is after us, Vegeta went on to then continue, then similar to that fallen angel Murno before, I must go on to find a way to prevent what happened prior if we were to go off and face this demon god in battle, and that means having to strive to do everything and anything to beat him. And then just what do you think you're doing? Wake up, Saiyan. Beerus went on to then push Vegeta from behind by then responding, "For now is not the time to be daydreaming about your fantasies of overcoming the fear that you once felt when having to battle against that angel, but tell me something, Vegeta. You and I haven't sparred in quite some time since that angel's arrival. Now have
Vegeta
only
versus
Beerus
Beerus
questions.
fight.
When was the
Shouts out
last
to
time
Beerus
that
and
you and
Vegeta.
I had last battled?" With Vegeta responding, "Well, it has been quite some time since you and I have last sparred, but I couldn't really go on to tell you on when exactly that was, since I wouldn't be able to remember, and so now why exactly do you ask, Lord Beerus?" With Beerus responding, "Interesting, very interesting, and besides your fusion with Goku, which was the only other saving grace in our mission to stop that bastard Murno, now I'm curious to know, and so now tell me, how exactly did you feel when you battled against that angel, Saiyan? Was the battle itself something that has been ever since?" Vegeta having then reminisced by then responding, "Well, to be quite blunt with you, it felt as though I was up against an unbreakable wall of power is what it felt like, as no matter what it was that I tried to do, I just couldn't find a way to break him, even if the others had come to my aid. And so because of this, I never want to go and feel that helpless as I did ever again, because it was bad enough in having him best us all the way that he did and having to do it alone. But what made matters worse was that without my fusion with Kakarot, it felt as though no matter how hard we tried, we always were destined to fail against him." With Beerus then being shown having to circle around Vegeta by then responding, "Interesting, and you say that it's been far too long since you remember the last time that you and I had trained, isn't that right? Well, because now that Gohan and that ridiculous Goku are out of the way," Beerus continues, "what do you say that you and I go and take this opportunity to change that, and not only having to battle one another and also progressing through our strength, but to maybe also find out on just which one of us is the superior warrior between you and I, shall we? And as it would be far better for us to go and learn more about where we stand just in case we need to when facing off against those demons, but on top of the fact, for not only do I believe that this will be the perfect warm-up in order for us to get ourselves ready for whatever it is that's coming, but at least this can also be a great way in having us both
I like how he just transitioned from
by
the.
also finding out on just what kind of vulnerabilities we can expose within one another before,
Shout out
of
to
course, we go and make
bro.
our
My
way into
dude's
the demon
showmanship is
realm.
always
So now, what do
increasing.
you say?
He done just slipped in the ads right then and there and said, hey, you know what? It's unexpected. Hell, we got Beerus and Vegeta talking. I'm over here plotting on doing something else, and he slides in ads on me. I like how he did that, though, because I'm still have to use that. I will still have to use this for what I got going on. Shout out to what I got going on. Y'all gonna like it.
Vegeta, because not only can we go and take this moment to go engage our true power, Beerus continues, but how is about we go and hurry and take this chance to battle and see what we can learn, as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters, the official Murno sequel, manga chapter number 17 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now I will go as far as to say that even though this entire situation has now gone from bad to so much worse, it has become painfully obvious to us all right now on what it is that we will need to go and do in order to make sure that the multiverse remains stable and without the fear of having to lose any within the process. Because while I fear that our most difficult and grueling battles are yet to take place when involving these demons, especially with their leader now freed from captivity, you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unreal Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
You're making a big mistake. Where do you think you're going? Pity, what a waste of talent. Not today. Back off. Have it your way. A tough guy like you should be able to face the truth.
right, Triple B, good to see you.
Are you okay?
Once again, y'all know to go check out the big homie DJ Is.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bed, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bed, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bed, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light.
Go check out the video sponsors over at the Superfood Parents, because y'all know they keeping it popping over there. Appreciate them for coming through, showing love on all the Bobby and Coffee sites. Because now I got more than one, so they be on all of them.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bed, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light.
Now, I know most review channels ain't actually showing these videos because, you know, you can get copyrighted for this shit. But you know damn well I had to put this at the end of the video. If they gonna flag it, they gonna have to fucking look for it. You know, that you gotta be 137 minutes, an hour and 37 minutes into the video to see what we doing over here. Shouts out to the investigators because they gotta put in their work just like me. shit cold as fuck. Y'all already know to hit me back next week for Super Saturday. In the meantime, leave a comment if y'all want to watch a video. We'll get it put together for you. But y'all know how we do. I got something coming up for you. But you never know.